Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. Share the broadcast.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun diary, ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣe o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Maiyegun diary.
Thank you for joining.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ dódódó.
Lai Mohammed came out to say the reason why Nigerians shouldn't call or tag the Fulani bandits, Fulani terrorists. They should not be tagged a terrorist organization because they don't have flag of their own. Whatever crime they are committing, they are just common criminals. Share this broadcast.
And yes, we like you. YouTube. And yes, we like oh, Baba Bewure. And yes, we like
the reason why this is the rider for the conversation tonight is because over the years, they have told us that to be an APC, Egbekegbe member, you will need to forfeit your brain and thinking faculty. You would have to let that off and let the likes of Femi Adesina, Lai Mohammed, their chairman, Femi Kayode, Garbage Shehu, Even this Diababa in Lagos as well. I'm talking about Jaga Bandit, the Jaga Wiri, the Jaga Addicts, Tifnumbu of Bodilon. When they speak, no matter the trash they vomit, there are people who look educated, who look normal, who look reasonable, but their job is to repeat the nonsense. Share this broadcast, sir. One of the reasons why you are watching my video tonight and why you should stay back and watch this video is this. Everyone knows, the whole world knows what Nigeria has become because of insecurity. Fulani terrorists are known as the fourth deadliest terrorist group in the whole world. Are you listening? But in Nigeria, committing the worst atrocity that you could probably link to them in history, even across Africa, where they are known for the same atrocity of this bloody campaign of subjugation and attempt to overrule the indigenous people that they meet on their path, as they call themselves nomads. The atrocity they've committed in the entire Africa over the years, when you put them together, compared to the atrocity they commit just a month alone in Nigeria, will scare you away. But they are not terrorist organizations. According to Nigerian government, they are just common or simple criminals. I'll tell you why. Normally, I will share the video with you. But you know, something happened. We may not really know how much of what these platforms means to these guys. In Nigeria, the criminals in power, they are also the controllers of the media. They own the media houses. They employ all these guys that you've probably found as superstars on your TV in Nigeria. Therefore, they control the narrative of what really goes out to the majority of the people. In the process, the likes of Lai Mohammed, they will be the opinion maker. They will be the opinion, giver, and then idealist and all that on the regular TV for people to feed from their nonsense. Then social media came. So when social media came, it gave us a borderless control over information and what we can do with the information. In this regard, then they put in, like Shore told us yesterday, they put in legal team now. Apart from the fact that they have preached to Nigerians that Twitter and social media is more dangerous than the Boko Haram and the terrorists in Nigeria, therefore they have to do everything to control it. But what they are not telling Nigerians is that the reason why they are so desperate is because that is the only media or medium that they have no real control over, and they don't even know how to deal with it. Yeah? So they have set up professionals to be reporting different channels, different platforms to get them shut down before your 2023. And let me be honest with you, I received my own fair share. Just a few days ago, suddenly, I think I was live. Then I started receiving these pop-up messages from YouTube telling me that they have some reports from TVC. And you know TVC is owned by Tifnumbu, right? And in my own opinion, right, just like I let my own content out there for everybody to use, because they are really meant to enlighten people, to help them in making the decisions that are really important to them. If they don't have real information, they will never make any supportive decisions. So TVC told YouTube. So in my own opinion, I believe that when you see politicians or public officials, when they give statements or when they say anything, As much as we all know how much of this statement they make manage to rile their base up, which continue to keep the division among people who are actually victims of their leadership, right? So they control the narrative. Now, what did they do? They just picked up, I believe that nobody should be copyrighted using the speeches of these politicians who are feeding fat on us, yeah? We shouldn't be copyrighted in quoting them verbally by using their statements on record. But TVC thought otherwise. Suddenly, they faced my channel on YouTube. And the effort is, YouTube should ask me to delete all my videos that has Tinubu in them or discuss Tinubu, and I also share any video clip that Tinubu was talking. So within just 15 minutes, they reported more than 6 videos. But because YouTube is not Facebook, YouTube said I should contact them. So I wrote them that, sorry about the intrusion. They are just like 2 minute, 1 minute videos that I used in my broadcast of long hours. And they said, and I said, well, I am, because I always give credit anyway. So I am willing to take down the videos or continue to use them if you permit us whenever this guy says anything. They responded right away, TVC in Nigeria. And they said, we just want you to delete all the videos permanently. And I said, okay, fine. Since they are just 2 minutes videos, I will pull them down. I will delete wherever the Tinubu and every other video they want out. And I can reload my videos because the message will still be the same. So normally, yeah, I would have shared with you what Lai Mohammed said and how serious it was, because that interview was granted on TVC. Okay? So, and he said, clearly, he said, people should try to understand why Buhari and his government, they have not proscribed bandits, as you know, as they call them today, Fulani terrorists. Why have you not proscribed them? You know that everybody called the Boko Haram terrorists. You people proscribed IPOB because you call them terrorists, even though they have not killed anybody or caused any harm to anybody. When you proscribe them, how come these Fulani terrorists are not proscribed? That was where Lai Mohammed, as usual, speaking as an intelligent government official, explaining to millions of Nigerians why it is wrong to proscribe the Fulani terrorists as terrorists who they are. Now, let me tell you, this is not a mix-up. Of late, especially this 2021, apart from the report of kidnapping, mass kidnapping and all of that you have read about, you have heard about people then paying ransom and all of that over the time, yeah? This 2021 alone, the same people that are simple criminals in Lai Mohammed's book, they have shot down the government fighter jets, military fighter jets. They have shot 2 down this year alone. These guys have staged an attack on the Defense Academy, Nigeria Defense Academy in Kaduna. That is like the Pentagon of America. So they attacked the place, carted away weapons like you can imagine. And there is no single arrest, no single, chase after them. These guys have entered schools and they have kidnapped hundreds of school children. But here is the problem. You and I know how dangerous they are. But according to the government that should be keeping you safe, they don't treat them as terrorists. Therefore, since they are just simple criminals who have no flags, that's the point. The Fulani terrorists have no flags, even though they are terrorists. But government of Nigeria will never go after them as terrorists because they are not planning to break Nigeria. The second thing is that Boko Haram will not be proscribed as a terrorist organization as well, simply because Boko Haram is not asking to break Nigeria. Do you know that? Boko Haram is attempting to make the entire Nigeria an Islamic caliphate ruled and controlled or governed by Sharia. Do you understand the difference now? While IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, are asking for referendum to decide their fate because they don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore without killing anybody. Boko Haram that wants to make the entire Nigeria a Sharia country by first ensuring that it's established in northern Nigeria. And they are very smart about it. This is how the twist happened. Boko Haram's primary agenda before they became active, those who founded the Boko Haram from 1975 that the journey to Boko Haram started. The journey wasn't to break Nigeria. The journey was to ensure that in the next 100 years, the entire Nigeria that you know of today will no longer be the Nigeria you know of today. It will be the entire Fulani caliphate ruled by Sharia, whereby the rest of you are not going to follow Sharia. I mean, who are going to live under Sharia, but different religion. You will have to live under their protection, even though you will all be Nigerians. That journey started in 1975. The idea, the ideology, the finance and everything they put into it. And recently, we just handed over the information on a platter, how they started, how they have been funding it, how they have been escaping justice. So that's the agenda. It's not to break Nigeria. And that agenda is not bad to the likes of those who have now managed to gain access into power in Nigeria. Listen, are you following me, by the way? Are you? Good. The government of Nigeria, they have different concepts of how to tackle insecurity. Therefore, they have now identified the level of insecurity in Nigeria based on their own interpretation. Boko Haram want to Islamize Nigeria. They don't want to break it up. And Boko Haram understand that if they do it in northern Nigeria and they manage to capture and subject everybody to that, the rest of Nigeria will follow, because according to what Nigeria is, the north will always control the south. So Boko Haram based there, because those who started Boko Haram, that was the mentality. Create a movement, an idea that allows the people to have a country that is ruled by a mullah from 1975. And over the years, this group, they have succeeded in embedding themselves in different organs of government of Nigeria. The political decision-making, be it military, judiciary, name it. So over the years, waiting patiently for a time, they will then declare the jihad. And when you ask, why are they killing people? They will tell you, they are killing infidels. If you don't follow one days, you will die. Then something happened. 2015 happened. Greedy criminals from the southern Nigeria saw a loophole to what? To tap into their own greedy or selfish agendas, and they went into the party or went into an alliance with the devil. Devil that wanted to light you up. You can't soak your body with petrol. Can't they hold cigar and asking the devil for a lighter. Don't be saying you don't make the job easier. They have been everywhere. There is no other time than to do what they are doing. So to Nigerian government, and when I say Nigerian government, I'm talking about the jihadist, Taliban, apologist government of Nigeria that is shielding terrorists, because according to them, they are not terrorists. They are people with the ideology that if only some of you understand that their own type of Islam they are bringing is going to liberate all of us. Nigeria is going to be like Saudi Arabia. Nigeria is going to be like Dubai, blah, 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 blah. So to those in government, the idea of these boys trying to ensure that the dream of Uthman Danfodio is fulfilled, it's not a bad idea after all. They are not breaking up Nigeria. Same thing with the Fulani terrorists. According to government of Nigeria, they are also not terrorists. All they want is just kidnap you, collect some money. If you can't pay the money, they kill you. But if you pay them the money, they will free you. It's just like a business. Then we are also trying to solve that anyway. Not that we are not doing anything, but don't call them terrorists. They are not terrorists. They are just simple criminals. That's what Lai Mohammed said. Simple criminals, he called them. Now, when you have a government with that idea, and then they decided that the only solution is, why don't you let us resettle them everywhere? So that when we resettle them, we'll build schools for them. We'll build hospitals. We'll build houses for them. We'll let them have all their cows wherever they want them. Yeah? And everybody will have peace. What about that? Let's do that then. But don't call them terrorists. Now, when your government don't see them as that, why are you now surprised that the killings continues? And it's never going to stop. The reason is very simple. Your government sees them as businessmen. You either learn how to live with that, or you can just relocate. That's the condition. And the reason why we need to say this is this. You see, those who listen to them and the people they listen to, they are actually they are going to be the victims of all of this madness. IPOB have flags asking for referendum. Yoruba Nation have flags asking for referendum. Boko Haram, they have flags asking for Islamization of Nigeria. Fulani bandits, they don't have flags. They don't have any flag. They just want you to either accept them as part of you now and learn how to save for ransom, or just begin to plan that living long may not even be your portion after all. Just learn how to live with us. Or you can continue to complain. But this one, no, now our own. So we don't have flag. We are not trying to break Nigeria. No, we're not. And then you ask yourselves, when things get to this level, and they have compromised every platform that could make people understand what is going on, what do you think we have left? We have ourselves. You have me. I have you. And the more you continue to see what actually differentiates us, the longer the likes of Lai Mohammed will continue to use every platform to drive the narrative that will further widen the gap. Every opportunity we have of having a chat on Maiyegun's Diary Political is an opportunity for us to reflect. It's not because you can't think. When you look at the characters of people who are in charge of your government, which there are actually a handful of them, you have a minister of communication who is a Taliban and Al-Qaeda apologist. Is in charge of all your data. phone calls, phone records, text messages, emails, and every other thing you have been communicating with. He has access to them. And one time he came out and he said, if you don't link your SIM card to your NIN or something like that, you are going to lose your SIM card, blah, 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 blah. And then he came out and he said, oh, that effort has managed to help them track terrorists, and they have managed to reduce terrorism. This was like a year ago. How far now? That is one minister there, a terrorist apologist. Here is the Minister of Misinformation, Lai Mohammed, a man that came out and said they have technically defeated Boko Haram just 6 months into Boko Haram's government, only for them to now be telling us about Fulani terrorism, Yetiala, ISWAP, ISIS, and the rest of them today. So he's now telling us why we shouldn't think they are all terrorists. Some are more terrorists than the other. It was the same Lai Mohammed who said the only way to fight insecurity in Nigeria is to control social media. And in fact, he went to the National Assembly and he was talking to them and he said they should give them laws that will allow them to shut down the social media, the internet in Nigeria, just like they switch off the lights, off and on. A criminal himself who is afraid of what social media is going to really do to them, even if they manage to hold on to power now. When they are out of it, they are going to be like fish out of water. And then we'll see how they are going to cope. He went to the National Assembly to switch off the internet, to have the power to switch off internet, because that's the way they want to control the insecurity in Nigeria. And indeed, they have been doing that, even though there is no law that gave them that. They have been jamming network from different parts of Nigeria whenever they want to carry out their nefarious criminal activities using the Nigerian military. They will jam the network in that area. There will be no way of calling out for help. There will be no way of calling in to find out what is going on. And they do that, by the way, criminal thing to get away with murder, but they still never really get away with anything. It was the same Lai Mohammed who decided that they would need to block Twitter from Nigeria, forgetting the fact that many millions of young Nigerians have resorted to the opportunity available on the internet and on social media to promote different, their different skills, trade that has kept them, in fact, sane so far under this insane government of Nigeria. But Lai Mohammed didn't care. They cared more about the expose that comes from social media, which means it's still pretty much about themselves. And when he went about campaigning for it, talking about it, he was talking nonsense, absolute trash, while the young people who lost so much billions of naira for the period, and they are still losing it today because they still haven't released Twitter, right? And so many of these platforms are actually functioning like funnily in Nigeria today. Now, they didn't care. Now, the same people, like Lai Mohammed, thank you for that, Victoria Odele Akbom. Thank you very much for your super sticker, by the way. That's somebody that sits on their TV in Nigeria to give ideas of how government is working. And then when the whole thing boomerang and other people, as he's talking, people are getting killed. So when you ask them again, they will give another reason. But the people who are becoming the victims are only fed by these rogues because people don't even have a clue, right? That is what will make somebody like me, somebody you don't like, because of Lai Mohammed. Because Lai Mohammed told you that there is a difference between Boko Haram and Fulani terrorists killing, and then in fact killing your military, killing your policemen, kidnapping children, and collecting ransom. That person telling you that makes you believe that somebody like myself will think, how does that even make any sense? Yeah? Automatically turns me to somebody you shouldn't like. Shut up your mouth. Like you always do. Because Lai Mohammed has managed to be, is one of those who now think for you as a Buhari idiot. Not just that, it's also under this criminal government. There's somebody who is a doctor, and also the Minister of Labor. I'm talking about Okija Shatabandu, Ngige. Ngige came out, somebody who is a doctor, and the Nigerian doctors are on strike. Bokwari was in London. Tifnumbu was in London. They were both in London receiving medical treatment from the top medical team in the UK, while Nigerian doctors are on strike. And so many of these Buhari Mumus, these Lagos Abobakus, all these Oshogbo Alimajiris, all these, why many of them are dying secretly in different hospitals? Because, number one, they don't have the money to take themselves to the possible private hospitals to pay for their medical bills. So when they went to the government hospitals, many of them they are watching me too, right? So the Minister of Labor, who happened to be a doctor, came out and he said, the Nigerian doctors are only, how did he put it? He said Nigerian doctors are greedy, selfish, and inconsiderate. As a Nigerian doctor, they said if you are, your hazard allowance, right? Hazard allowance. That means if anything happens or you are working extra hour or something like that, hazard allowance in Nigeria is 5,000 naira. It used to be 25,000 naira, but now it is 5,000. Some, they don't even pay it anymore. As part of them asking the government to at least improve their, and in Nigeria, they say a normal doctor, except if you are a specialist, because those ones, you have to be politically connected sometimes to get all those, right? But as a regular doctor, they call them, so they are doctors who, listen, they ended up, probably so many of them are earning under 200,000 naira every month from all allowances, everything that comes to them. Those who earn under 200,000, they are actually so grateful. And when you say 200,000 naira, how much is that, by the way? That should be like $500, or maybe 300 pounds or 250 pounds for a doctor. Asking the government to do better to a doctor who is now the Minister of Labor, he said they can continue to sit at home if they want to sit at home. Nigeria has too many doctors. Within the time that Nigerian doctors are on strike, UK snatched over 8,000 doctors from Nigeria. Those who quickly got this special visa. Why Nigerian doctors are on strike? And these Buhari idiots, these ombud slaves, obedient fools, sophisticated morons, these all-risers, these crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, and all these guys who are jumping up and down on social media defending this crook, yeah? They can go to hell. They don't care. That's what he said. A doctor. It was his own predecessor, the one before him. That one too was a doctor. Oluwole, that one is even a Yoruba man. When the doctors were on strike under him, you know what he said? Under the same Bokwari, doctor, he said, listen, all of us cannot practice medicine or doctor or what have you. Some doctors are going to be farmers. Some doctors are going to be shoemakers. Some doctors are going to be tailors. And he made himself an example. He said, look at this suit I'm wearing. It was made by a doctor because he make better money from being a tailor than being a doctor. That's a doctor who is also a minister, who was a minister of health. Those are the kind of people that will prepare written nonsense, and they will face camera, and they will be speaking to millions of people, telling them how government is doing so much, helping them, blah, 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 blah. Let me give you another example. You know how much they've destroyed their naira in Nigeria simply because of racketeering, round-tripping brought about by the Central Bank of Nigeria under Emefiole. I'm going to go look for that video. Right? I found it. And Emefiole came out and he started blaming the trees in Abuja. He said the reason why Naira was crashing was because some bureau de change, money changers, many of them in Abuja, they are staying under the tree. A particular spot in Abuja where they have these planted trees. Yeah. So the money changers are staying under the tree. They make that under the trees, they make the place as their contact point. So no amount of money you want to exchange, they have the dollars there. Emefiole, an economist, the central bank governor of Nigeria, said the trees was giving shade to those who are changing money. Right? And he decided to cut down all the trees so that they can stop people changing money so that Naira can stay strong. After that, Emefiole came and he said, oh, the reason why the Naira is crashing is because Aboki Forex online is telling Nigerians what the dollar is going to be tomorrow, what the exchange rate is going to be tomorrow. That's the reason why the Naira is crashing. That's why the dollar is increasing. So because of that, we have to ban Aboki Forex. It's the enemy of Nigeria, enemy of this country. We are doing everything to help this country. But these people are doing everything to destroy this country. Central bank governor. So they ban Aboki Forex. Today, the same Emefiole, central bank governor, somebody that's a normal Buhari idiot, would tell me to shut up because Emefiole is talking. Somebody that will be talking on their TV and a cyberbarian will tell Maiyegun to keep quiet. That what do you know about economics? Where Emefiole is talking. I am a layman. I may not know a lot about economics. Okay? But I understand the fact that if I have 20 naira, and I go to market and I spend 15 naira from my 20 naira, that means I'm going to have a change of 5 naira balance. But if I go to market and I shop and my final bill came to 48, or 50 naira, and I only have 20 naira, it is either I'm going to go borrowing under any condition in order for me to pay for that service, or I'm just going to leave it and buy with my 20 naira. Okay? So that simply means a lot of things will go into me buying more than what I can afford. Do you understand that now? Buying more than what you can afford. But Emefiole and gang, what they did from 2015 rather, to 2021 was that they managed to increase borrowing on so many things that we call the white elephant project at exorbitant and ridiculous, interest rates and ridiculous conditions too. Nigeria is a dumping ground, okay? Nigeria became so terribly bad under these criminals that they said when a plane lands in Nigeria, cargo plane, like everything that Nigeria order from abroad, right? When the cargo plane lands in Nigeria, when they leave Nigeria, they fly away empty-handed because Nigeria have nothing to sell. So when Nigeria now goes borrowing, to say, oh, borrow us $1 billion, they will say, how much you get for bank? Say, we don't get any money. But we they expect money from crude oil. That one will give us $100,000 a day. So we can get $3 million a month. And you want to borrow 1 billion. What do you want to take the 1 billion do? Say, we want to build this, we want to build that, blah, 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 blah. We want to refurbish the National Assembly. We want to pay the pension of former, all those nonsense. This one was not, wait. You have crude oil. Say, yes, we have other resources too that you can take. Just give us money. Say, okay, we'll give you the money. But we are not going to exchange the money the same rate. You will do us one condition. You know, we have our own people who they do business for Nigeria. So every time they have to do business in Nigeria, they have to use this exchange rate. Let me use an example. You don't have anything you want to sell to us. You want us to borrow you money, right? Okay. What happened is this. We cannot give you our money based on 199 naira to $1. But we'll borrow you the money. But we want you to go back and devalue that your naira because there's nothing backing it up. So if you do that at this percentage, they will borrow you that money. So in 6 years, that's what they have been doing. Meanwhile, all the money they are borrowing, they are not really investing them in anything that yields money. They are using that money to pay for the luxurious life they live. Why they use a fraction of that to pretend to start some project that are indeed obsolete already before they even start. So that then gives them the window to borrow more in the effort of saying, we want to complete this rail line. The money you borrowed us last time, it has finished. Okay? We need another 2 billion, please. Say, but you guys have no money. Your currency is terrible. You know what? It's going to be another condition. Currently, your naira to dollar or your naira to yen is this price. If we want to borrow you anything now, yeah, you need to go and devalue that naira again. That's how they keep coming back. And you just wake up. You go to bed tonight. Naira to dollar is 550 naira. You wake up tomorrow morning. You've already planned how you are going to exchange the money to do the business you are managing to do under this condition. And you wake up tomorrow morning, naira to dollar has changed to 553 naira. Some will say, no, be just 3 naira. Now, people will get business, understand what that 3 naira means in their own profit margin. Right? And they continue to borrow. They continue to borrow. But when they now corner the Mefiole, Baba, how far? This thing don't enter radio. Nigeria economy is growing at the rate of minus 1.7%. That is danger. That's the reason why more people will be out of jobs. That is why many of you will likely have jobs, but your jobs and the pay you get will never even take you home. You know why? It is called underemployment. They are all reacting to a negative economy that Emefiole and gang are building El Dorado on. Now, Emefiole and another person also in that circle is Pastor Ruga. That one is a lawyer. Okay? A lawyer. But they put him in charge of the economy team to advise Boko Haram about economy. So when Pastor Ruga came, his own economy idea, how to lift people out of poverty, is that even if we borrow money, let us share the money to poor people. So that when we share the money to them and they begin to sell pure water, 1 bag, 2 bag, before you know it, they will start selling pure water in Pong Pong. They will have truck, small push truck. And before you know it, you will be surprised. They will be getting trailer that will be giving them bag of pure water. From that money, they will be able to feed their family. You remember that the World Bank said Nigerians are living under and they are living below $2 a day. World Bank is being generous. Let me tell you something. $2 a day means 550 naira times 2. How much is that? 1,100 naira. That means if you multiply 1,100 naira by 30 days, you will get how many? 32,000 naira or something, or 33,000 naira. How much is minimum wage of Nigeria? How many people they get paid 30,000 naira in Nigeria? So do you understand that when they tell you that you are living, Nigeria is living under $2, below $2, they are just being generous. Look at how much many of you are collecting as salaries and the work you are doing. Compare that, convert it to dollar. They are telling you that you are not spending dollar. Aha! That's another lie. That the criminals like Emefiole, economists, speaking grammar, building false hope. Listen, I am a layman. 1 + 1 in my own book is 2. Now, when you want do GPT or do Ojoro, you'll be saying 1 + 1 is 11. No. Whatever theory you come up with, now GPT to somebody like me, 1 and 1, now 2. Okay? So if I get 2 and you take 1, I have 1. If I have 2, you take 2, I have nothing. Don't tell me 1 + 1 and blah, 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 this thing. So, Emefiole may tell you that you are not spending dollars. Ask yourselves, how come the same bag of rice that they ban people from importing so that you can grow the rice in Nigeria, how come from 2015, when you were buying it for 7,500 naira per bag, 50 kg, today, even though you are growing the rice, according to the promises of Emefiele and Co., how much are you buying the bag of rice now? Even though Emefiele said, you are not spending dollar. Now Nigeria, they grow amo. The people who promised you one refinery every year, by now, you should be asking them, where are our 6 refineries? So that they won't pay subsidy. Because, they know they pay subsidy in Naira. You have to pay subsidy in dollars. Listen, guys, now billions I'm talking about. Billions of dollars, that's what you pay for subsidy. And guess who owns the subsidy? The people who take your petrol. Who take your crude oil. They export it. They refine it in their own refineries abroad. Then they bring the crude oil back. The petrol back, finished products. They bring back diesel. And that's it. Every other thing that comes from crude oil, all of you know go hear them. But meanwhile, every part of crude oil, now money. But when they take your crude oil away, they bring back diesel. They bring back petrol. Now, the petrol and diesel they bring back, they will now say, oh, you see, when we take the crude oil to Sweden, and we do all the job to make sure that all of you get fuel to buy, to put in your car, and we brought back the diesel and petrol. Last, so you see, per liter, na 250 naira, we go sell them. And because it's 250 naira per liter, it's now left for your government if they want us to sell it to you for 250 naira. Boko Haram and gang came in 2015 and they told you that you should not be paying more than 40 naira per liter of your petrol. But they met it at 87 naira. Don't forget to. In 6 years, you are buying the liter for 165 naira now in Nigeria. With the promise that, don't sleep on it, 2022, you are going to end up buying it at 250 naira and they are still going to be subsidizing it for you. So the chunk of your money, the ones they borrow and everything, goes into their hand, right? Back into their hands. They don't get money to spend though. But for 6 years, all of you are not asking for where are the refineries you promised us? Where are they? Maybe if they build that, you will not be paying the subsidy. So that they can no longer say, the reason why the Congo of Gari is now 800 naira. The reason why that your former detergent soap, Clean, is now 100 naira. And the reason why everything has changed is because, not because we are not producing them here, but we don't get electricity. We have to buy fuel. We have to transport. And you know why? Because as Nigeria shrinks, and everybody, they pretend. The only thing you cannot pretend about is that even though that Kurokwe driver, that bus driver or Okada rider, even though he is not trying to take you to London for putting his own bukata on that Okada, is that you don't know that Okada rider also has family. That mama where they sell Gary also have family. She will also have to pay her own house rent if she doesn't have a house. She will have to pay school fees of her own children too. That farmer that planted the cassava, processed it, after paying those who helped him or her to do all of the job, she will still have to pay that driver that will pack the whole thing to the market. The whole process, all of the charges goes on the Gary. Because you see that driver too, he will need to go and pay the school fees of his own children too, pay house rent, pay his own medical bills, feed himself, and make sure that his cab is always working If not, he will go hungry. Everybody will put their bukata on your gari. You that managed to get 28,000 naira, 30,000 naira salary, you now go to the market. They do like say, God just answer your prayer. And you say, Mama, this gari na gari Jebu, very good one. We know they eat rice again, Mama. Rice is too cost. Say, now so my daughter, everything is too cost. Say, na gari with the chop. Now, last week, I was so surprised that the same gari I they buy for 350. They sold it to me for 800 naira, Mama. And today, I don't know how much is your gari, Mama? And 1,200. 400. Now last week, I bought this 800 naira last week. I said, no, my daughter, everything don't cost. Mama, are you importing the gari? So no, my daughter, I'm not importing the gari. But now the same bukata where you get, now the same thing, the same bill where you they pay for your house. It's the same I am paying. And if I want to continue to give you gari and still continue to feed my family, you have to pay me 1,200 naira. Say, But Mama, you know they use dollar now. Well, you can check my other neighbor. That one is not a gari Ijebu, but it's also good. She will sell it for you for 1,150. She go give you 50 naira. Right there, right then, you will realize how Nigeria has eat you. When you begin to struggle to pay 10,000 naira, when 10,000 naira don't they be like shame. That is the moment you should understand that. You see all these actions of these guys, they all come back to no other person but you. Only if you understand. Emefiole then came out and he said, we are doing a lot. Oh. Don't worry, all of you. There's new thing coming. Now Dangote refinery. Help me beg Arise Television News. I don't know if they will put them under pressure. I would like to share this video, and I'm giving them the credit for it, okay? Emefiole talking to investors. And I want you to listen to him. That's an economist, the central bank governor of Nigeria. I want you to listen to how he speaks glowingly about Dangote refinery. And I'm going to tell you something or remind you something about Dangote refinery. Why those of you raising your hope again? You are going to come back with BLLB. Let's put it rightly. You're going to come back with a BLLB honors. Honorably, or let me say dishonors or dishons. All of you will be academia. You know what I'm trying to say here, Abi. But BLLB means Boshelo Loshebo. Because the people you listen to, those who are trying to tell you that they are doing everything and making you think, those who are telling you to cut them loose, have yourselves and your liberty back, then decide what you want to do next. Revolution, they call it. You don't believe in it because of Tifnumbu. You don't believe in it because of Mumumadu Bokwari or the Pastor Ruga, the Kenneth Shatabandu, and the rest of them giving you hope. Help me beg Arise Television that, please, if they put pressure on them, they should just write to me and say, Maiyegun, please help us delete that video. They don't tell us they will block us again. I will gladly do it. Don't shut us down. We just want to educate the people. The mumus that the people are getting to listen to, they are the real enemies of the people. And once people knows that and understand that they need to put themselves out, maybe the battle is half won. All right, Arise Television. I take credit. I give you credit to Emefiole, the central bank governor of Nigeria, one of the aspire to perspire. Motivational speakers they call economists in Nigeria. Aspire to perspire, to acquire, then to maguire, retire to disappear. You know, your life could just be like up and down like that. No meaning, no definition, just all grammar. They say, waiting then get. Nah. What did they call them? Grammar and inshallah. Some said, now, wait till we get Baba for Nigeria now. Everything don't finish. Now, vibes and inshallah. Listen to your central bank governor.
Meetings held in New York also had the governor of the central bank, Godwin Emefiele, in attendance. During the meetings, the central bank chief spoke to a number of questions raised by the international investors regarding Nigeria's FX reserves, exchange rates, balance of payments, and the country's increasing foreign debt. Take a listen.
We have ensured that any of our debts due is given utmost priority, particularly foreign debts. It's like first line charge. And the minister talks to me about it, and we ensure that wherever we're going to find the dollar, we will pay any of our debts even before we service any obligation. That is a rule if it is Nigeria's authentic sovereign debt. But when you talk about Azura is not, in our view, an authentic sovereign foreign FX debt. Swaps, yes, the number still remains a maximum of 15%, sometimes goes below 15%, but I'm sure you know that it's a moving figure. It's something that is like an instrument that the guys in financial markets play with and all that. So from time to time, they have placed a cap of 15%. Okay. Now on the refinery, let me say that the Dangote refinery is a major. By the time the refinery begins production by around June, latest July next year, it is going to be a major FX saving source for Nigeria, and I'll explain. Nigeria right now, out of what we spend, FX we spend on imported items, importation of petroleum products consumes close to about 30%. By the time you take diesel, petrol, aviation fuel, and the rest of them, 30%. Dangote refinery will be producing, yes, has a capacity to produce 650,000 barrels per day, or convert that from crude to refined products. There is a domestic component that is called 455, right? 455,000 barrels, yeah? Or 445,000 barrels.
450,000.
Yeah. Even if out of the 650,000, the 445 or 455 is what is sold to Dangote in Naira, it is going to be a major FX savings for Nigeria. Because we believe by the time, you want to say something?
Well, it just, he has to pay back, what, $15 billion in bank loans with that?
Aliko?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not $15 billion in bank loan. You got it wrong. The total cost of that project is about $17.5 billion. And Dangote's equity in that project is $9 billion. So less than $9 billion has been contributed by a combination of foreign banks, local banks, and even the Central Bank of Nigeria. So you are looking at a transaction where the leverage is almost 1-to-1. In fact, less than 1. So I do not, and we think that is going to be a major saver for foreign exchange for our country, and we think we will export those refined products.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Loriro, please, I decided to share that video so that you can listen to how he talks. That's how he talks. You see, if you want to know those who are lying, yeah, usually when they're like that, they'll be either moving their legs, squeezing their fingers while they talk, and they always try not to blink, or you will see them trying to move their face like that, trying to watch if you are going to be reacting to it to see if you are believing them. Yes, if you want to listen to the full video, you can go on to the Arise TV, Arise Television on YouTube, okay? They had the interview there. Okay, Emefiele meeting the investors, especially that program. All right, please check it out. But I'm going to tell you why he's lying. Just few things I just want to pick out of what he said there, for you to know that they are a bunch of liars. People you shouldn't listen to. Those are the people the Buhari idiots listen to. These are the kind of guys they listen to because they believe that they are educated, they are experienced, and blah, 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 blah. But you look around you and you ask yourself, how come things are not working? Well, let me quickly pick a few points that he made there, which are lies. When they started Dangote refinery idea, what they told people was that the refinery was going to be producing about 650,000 barrels of crude oil a day, which is massive. And not just that, Dangote refinery is also going to be producing, fertilizers and all of those chemical or this industrial chemical plant, all those stuff. Very good idea. So they put the budget at somewhere around 7 billion or so. So Dangote now said he's met with investors who were going to invest in that refinery if Nigerian government let them build. So as Dangote is a Nigeria quota system billionaire, he had this way. Now everybody was waiting. Year one, year two, there was battle with the indigenous people who own the land in Lagos. Finally, they muzzled them out. And Dangote was to begin the process of building. The Nigerian naira began crashing, according to them. So the money they expected from those who wanted to invest, the money was not forthcoming like they expected. The project completion date got extended to 2020, last year. So then it was a race against time between 2016 and 2020. Dangote was relying more on the Central Bank of Nigeria to continue to provide that dollar as long as, what happened is this, right? His own lenders abroad, they will guarantee the dollar equivalent, right, of whatever they want to send over if Dangote and Central Bank can produce the naira. So Dangote was getting the supply of the dollars until, because they are not the only person getting the dollar allocation. Those politicians who are now living abroad off you, like Boko Haram's wife and the rest of them, and Boko Haram's store and everything, all the estaco they are all collecting comes from Central Bank of Nigeria. Therefore, reduce the dollar allocation for Dangote. Nigeria entered recession. Last, the project, total got extended to be expanded over 10 billion. At this point, Dangote is already broke to complete, because Nigeria is already broke to continue to guarantee the loan that Dangote wanted to take for his refinery. Since those who want to lend money have nothing substantial from the Central Bank of Nigeria to secure as loan security, as the guarantor, the money is not forthcoming. Central Bank of Nigeria, Emefiele, went into desperation. Okay? In the process, they decided that they were going to sell the NNPC to see and raise money. So the whatever the sale they make from the NNPC, that money will go to Central Bank in dollars. So they can then give that money to Dangote. So when they finalized the process of selling NNPC, when those behind it came out, they did not sell NNPC. They decided to make NNPC a sort of a private corporation owned by them. But Nigeria will buy the share inside Dangote's refinery. A way of borrowing money to give to Dangote, since nothing could really mop up such money to complete the project. There is a delay. So 2020 came. Nothing was going to happen. So in June this year, they announced that they have reincorporated NNPC, a fraud. In the people's eyes, NNPC is going to be productive now. Also, because NNPC will now invest money in refinery, because NNPC couldn't build refinery for Nigerians for 6 years. But Dangote is building one. Let us buy shares in it, even though it has not even reached 50% completion. Right? So, but let's buy shares in it in the name of Nigeria. But the shares is owned by NNPC. But the owners of NNPC now, you will never know them until later. So this arrangement is what they have now gone to the world with, to go and borrow 3.5 billion. That's how much they want to invest in Dangote refinery. A subtle way of giving Dangote 3.5 billion to continue the project of his refinery. On this dream is where Emefiole, the central bank governor of Nigeria, is building hope and telling people that you can imagine how big it's going to be when Dangote finished the refinery. Listen, so far so good from record. The total money they've spent on that refinery, they've managed to spend so far, is quite, it's just a little bit above 7 billion. Now, the project itself will be completed with more than 15 billion as we speak now. Now, 15 billion, the Emefiole said is actually 17 point something billion. Now, imagine this. They have spent about 7 billion. They want to go and borrow money that will further crash Naira, okay, to give it to Dangote so that he can then continue the building of the refinery. Guess what? That money, even if they give all the money to him, which you should know, they will not give it to him. Because if they process and get that money, they will take their own cut. You know that, right? At the end of the day, if they manage to give him $2 billion, that will be added to what they've spent. Now, what does that tell you? They are going to come back again and say they may use another scheme. They may not use money to invest in Dangote. No, they will use another means of borrowing again. In your name, destroy the Naira, give it to Dangote. In 10 years' time, these guys are going to be talking about Dangote refineries. You can take this word to the bank. If you understand how this works, maybe you will not buy the lies. Emefiole, who knows that very soon he will be kicked out, nothing is going to happen, somebody else is going to come in, promise you another lies. I am the new central bank governor. We are going to do this, blah, blah, blah. You brag, but tell yourself something. Nigeria has become Pangolo, Korofo. The only reason why Nigeria is still standing is because those who are in charge of Nigeria, they have one agreement to keep the status quo remain and never let the people know how Pangolo empty they have made Nigeria. Let me give you another example. In 2022 budget that they are proposing, which I believe the central bank governor contributed to, your Naira still is not growing. The electricity is not getting better. More people are out of jobs, which means less tax to be paid. More businesses are struggling due to double taxation from all these criminals who just want money, but they won't give anything back. So more businesses are going to close up. And the only way to access money is to go out there and borrow. Now, this year, so far, Nigeria's debt is being put, which is possibly not even the right figure. They put Nigeria debt, international debt, at over 35 trillion naira. That is pretty much like 3 years of your budget. The money that could go into education, healthcare, infrastructure, security, and the rest. So every year, for the past 6 years, Boko Haram's government, especially in 2020, Boko Haram's government in their 2021 budget, they budgeted to spend, in fact, they actually serviced the debts of Nigeria, the Gbese. They serviced it with more than 4 trillion naira. That is pretty much like over 35% of your entire budget going into servicing debt. And listen, servicing debt is different from paying off your debt. Servicing debt is to make sure that the interest on your debt every month, you need to be paying something towards it to keep it down. If not, it's going to pile up and pile up and pile up. Before you know it, the money you borrowed and the money you are owing will be like times 2. So what Nigeria is doing or has been doing is to continue to borrow, since they can guarantee the borrowers that, or the lenders that, listen, we will service the money, the interest. Don't worry. So in 2022 budget, as poverty increases in Nigeria, as insecurity increases, as pensioners are unpaid, as workers are unpaid, as vital workers of that economy are unpaid, Nigeria is going to pay the total of over 6.5 trillion naira to service the base they have borrowed so far, including the ones they will borrow. They have already budgeted to spend 6 trillion naira from your 16 trillion naira. Do you know another calamity? The remaining money, that's let's say that 10 trillion or 10 or 11 trillion. From that on, 60 to 70% of that is going to go into recurrent. Do you know what is called recurrent in budgeting? Recurrent are the money you spend that you don't really expect anything back from. Okay? Like salaries, like allowances, like emolument and all those things that comes from that. Mostly to politicians, right? How to buy new cars, how to renovate Aso Rock Clinic, how to renovate Aso Rock generally, how to buy a new jet, and how to organize wedding for their children. All this money is part of your 2022 budget. It has always been part of your budget. How much they are going to feed Boko Haram with in 2022? How much are they going to feed Ikene Shatabandu and family with in 2022? These are recurrent expenditures that doesn't really bring anything back. You spend them. You don't really expect anything back from them. The only thing that comes back from paying salary is that the taxes you pay when the tax after, your salary after tax, they will deduct the normal taxes from it. That's the only money that goes back to the government. And guess where those money ends as well? They call them revenue. They are the money that goes back in to pay for their Dubai trip, to pay for their America trip, to pay for their American doctors, to pay their UK doctors, to pay their school children, their children's school fees abroad, to pay for the shopping of their family members abroad, to do all things they do that makes them look like your leaders because they are living off you. The remaining 30% of your budget, which you would expect to call capital expenditures, those are meant for your hospitals. Those are meant for your schools, your children's tuition, your aged parents' medical care, the roads, the electricity, the what else? Everything that makes the whole country works. 30%, but don't let me confuse you like a Emefiole. Let's use figure. If you have a budget of 16 trillion and you are going to use 6 trillion to service basic, that means that doesn't add any value to the people there, right? 6 trillion, you have 10 trillion left. From the 10 trillion, you are already going to use 7 trillion to feed Boko Haram, to renovate Aso Rock, to buy new cars, to pay for Lai Mohammed's diaper, and the rest of them will feed off you. 7 trillion will go into their hands. The remaining 3 trillion is what Lai Mohammed will build CNN. You remember when Lai Mohammed said he needed $5 million or 50 million, $500 million. They needed to borrow $500 million to turn NTA, Nigeria NTA, to look like CNN. Do you know that they actually borrowed that money? How far with NTA now? Is it competing with CNN or is competing with Oshogbo Broadcasting Corporation? No insult to you, Oshogbo people, okay? I'm just trying to let you know that no matter how bad you think Oshogbo BSC, Oshogbo Broadcasting, no matter how bad you think it looks, the National Broadcasting, Abuja, they collected $500 million to turn NTA to CNN. But now, when I get hope, without spending anything, you are better than NTA, where Lai Mohammed is the leader. Where Lai Mohammed said in his own ministry, where he is collecting billions for different projects that should promote culture, it'll be right information and national orientation. Truth. Lai Mohammed said he doesn't contribute anything to the cover when it comes to revenue. And when they ask him, Lai Mohammed, what do you think your ministry can do to raise money? Because this is tourism, culture, all these things. You should be able to tell us something. He said, there's an idea. We have an idea to turn the Egungun, the masquerade in Nigeria, to money-making machine and create jobs for people who will be carrying masquerade everywhere. You know what I mean? Because masquerade is culture. The government of Lai Mohammed was going to build on it. So that you see that your masquerade job, you can do it as a job. And government of Boko Haram can say, we created 16,000 jobs, 16,000 masquerade job. And he said, once you get that job, every money you make from begging and all of that, every money you make, you just pay tax to government. And Lai Mohammed ministry can then declare how much they make from all of you. You see, some of you who are still carrying your tradition say, now my tradition. Nobody can say anything. This is our tradition. Nobody say, may you not do your tradition. The future of Nigeria is that your tradition, you go to pay tax. As Lai Mohammed and co continue to be your motivator, your mentor. Those who think for you. That was what they asked him. Lai Mo. So the people who have this kind of mentality, in a nutshell, right? In my own opinion, those who borrow and borrow, they should not be those to tell you that Maiyegun is wrong. Okay? They shouldn't. Lai Mohammed said that because Fulani bandits don't have, because they don't have flags. Sorry, I want to just stop this off. So our economics is sonu, like Princess would say. Our economist is sonu, our leader is sonu, our olórí burúkú ẹ̀dá. Olórí burúkú ò dẹ̀ like olóríire. Oríire ni tó bá decide láti má listen sáwọn rogues yìí mọ́. And what I'm saying there is that these are unfortunate people that will continue to play on your emotional weakness because of the kind of power you wield if you no longer listen to them. You get what I mean now? Thank you so much, Jare, because I have seen, I've been to Oshogbo and I've seen Oshogbo Broadcasting Corporation. I think between Oshogbo Corporate Broadcasting and the OGTV and the Ekiti TV. And there's another one I have seen as well. It's a OSBC Oshogbo. That one is OSBC Oshogbo. There's another one, OSBC, Oyo TV. If you grew up in the 90s, and you are grown up now with your smart TV, with your Go TV, DSTV, and all those things that makes you fancy, right? If you now go on and turn on the, even if you turn on the NTA on your Go TV or on your DSTV, even yourself will be like, which kind of ancient view be this for the giant of Africa? It's a shame anyway. And the likes of those BCOS, BCOS. Okay, good. BCOS or your OSBC Oshogbo, OGTV Ogun, OGTV Abeokuta, current TV of those of us who grew up in the 90s, that's how they advertise all those things. And you always remember them. You always remember them. So you have to go out there and turn the antenna manually if you want to get OSBC or you want to, Anyway, thank you for that. What I'm trying to say here is that the criminals who are archaic are those who are telling you about today. But you are going to be the victim. You have always been the victims. So when they tell you, oh, people who stole money is the reason why the dollar is crashing, they are lying to you. When they tell you that because Fulani terrorists don't have flags, they are not terrorists, they are lying to you. When they tell you that it doesn't take much to generate electricity, like this our professor, the Saleko Barack Obama, told you, that generating electricity is just putting down your I better pass my neighbor together. 1,000 of it, and you will generate mega city and all of that. They were lying to you.
But I will try to be simple. Power generation is not rocket science. It's just generator. So just remember and imagine that your I better pass my neighbor in 1 million times its capacity, but in one place. So if you can make that size of 1 kilowatt, you can make a power turbine of 1,000 megawatts. That's that simple.
Very simple. And in 4 years, to confirm that they were lying to you, in 4 years, that brilliant lawyer, he's a lawyer, but he's an expert when it comes to generating electricity. Do you see how simple he put it? Very simple. Ladies and gentlemen, that guy said that before he became Minister of Power in Nigeria. Listen, the way he spoke there was the way they advertised and spoke to so many mumus of today. All right? Now, shame they make some of them don't want to agree with us. But listen, nobody can shame the shameless. If you come to us, we can restore your dignity and help you with your thinking, okay? Some of you now shame. They make you still they shout, Sai Baba, Sai Barbarian, Sai Baba, Sai Barbarian, na shame. You see that guy? Inspector Fashola? Fashola Sherlock Holmes. Is that what they call him? Inspector Fashola is a Leko Barack Obama. Because he can talk. He became a super minister in Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen. They thought Boko Haram, you see, when people said Boko Haram was the most intelligent, is the smartest among all of his followers. No joke, you. People don't forget brain. They don't get sense anymore. If you are talking, they will say, shut up. It's because you hate him. Say, Papa, calm down. Because I hate him, I'm telling you this. But what up? Okay, let's say we hate him aside. What about every other thing I said? That's we know. We know that his things are not working that way, but they are trying. It's because you hate him. Now, because bros no get brain again, no. Don't think how old they are. Okay? We have some of them, they look old now. All right? But the moment they started following these mumus, believing them, and they became their inspirational, motivational speakers, some of them don't get sense anymore. And we are not sorry to remind you. Isaleko Barack Obama became the super minister in Nigeria. And the Buhari idiots, the Buhari Deans, the Buhari Diderins, including the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unnekaharis, they were not left out. And the regular mob, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, and the ombud slaves, and some of them with, suit and tie, no sense. They were so happy. Yes, this is it. Fashola. Man, forget it. This is the change I voted for. This is the change I voted for. With Fashola, super minister, Nigeria don't better. That was how the Mumumadus, the Facebook bandits, the social media artsmen, their uncles and aunties abroad, the Mumumadus, the premium Buhari idiots, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers. Yes, this is the change. This is the change. If Nigeria doesn't change in 6 months, call me bastard. Some of them are today. They will be angry. They will be angry with you if you call them bastard. Say, but Baba, now you talk say if Nigeria no better in 6 months. Fashola, may we call you bastard, Baba? We just say may we remind you say you be Baba Wiri or Muali. And it is not that we are abusing you. Some of you said that. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mummies and daddies. In 4 years, super minister became super failure. They made him minister. He was supposed to be minister of power, housing, and works. But ladies and gentlemen, in 4 years, the man that could put 1,000 or 1 million, I better pass my neighbor generator together and create a 1,000 kilowatt of a turbine, that imaginary loot, that imaginary fraud is Aleko Barack Obama. In 4 years, Baba got a new award. He became the dishonorable minister of darkness, potholes, and homelessness. House, they no build. Road, they no build. Power, in fact, under this is Aleko Barack Obama. The man where they plant where they plant for Lagos, plant flowers. I had an idea of how to generate 1,000 megawatts. Baba with a froster, guys, no joke and no apology. Diwere became the minister of darkness. Under him, within 4 years, Nigeria national grid collapsed 2 times. You don't hear them before? Since then, bomb me. Where I don't read news. Now, darkness we they play with they share them. Say, how long you don't get light? Now, I say, we never get light for 1 week, but they don't bring them this evening. And the thing don't the 2 days serve. If I say them go bring bill tomorrow. I don't know why them bring us lights this evening. People always suspect. I'm waiting with the well, there was never a time, since me, I don't grow up, that they will say Nigeria national grid. The entire Nigeria was in darkness. Even the Buhari idiots didn't believe it. They said, no, lie. It's not possible. Zungeru power is working. Jugunuk power is working. That blah, 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 blah is coming on board. Since Boko Haram came on, they have never built any one single power station to add to whatever they met. But to them, now maybe the problem. Now this Maiyegun to the talk. Shut up your mouth. No. Olodo, you will continue to watch me. You will continue to come back here, and I will continue to remind you. If you are lucky to live long enough, you probably will change. But if you don't change, I'm still going to be here. Okay? And these criminals will continue to take advantage of you. And me, I will continue to talk about it until the numbers of those that can kick them out of town completely are more than you, the born mumus. Do you understand that now? I can help you. I'm helping you. I'm helping you if you are a Buhari idiot right now to let you see reason that the same rogues, the same criminal are the ones who are, and with the understanding of the economy, I have given you all these examples. What those who are in charge of the economy think of how they can make you better by giving you 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira to take you out of poverty. And then they come back to say they have spent over 2 trillion naira on you. Instead of them to take you out of poverty, Baba, it be like say then drop rock, can't tie them upon all your neck, can't drop all of you inside ocean. Mona the drag. Most of the person will go come out. They were supposed to use 2 trillion to lift you out of poverty. Make sure that you are able to at least manage the problem of 10,000 naira and you don't have a high blood pressure because of 10,000 naira, because of 5,000 naira. How many people do you know right there next to you in that Nigeria who are battling with just 10,000 naira? And they spent 2 trillion to lift you out of poverty. Instead of them to take you out of the water where all of you are drowning. Nigeria is shocking you, killing you without touching you. 2 trillion. Now them, they buy private jet, they build new palaces, mansion. All the money, they put them outside. They can't tie big rock on top all of una neck. Because anybody will survive. This one is survival of the fittest. If you survive, lucky you. If you don't survive, Baba, if you get children, then go face the whole thing. If they survive, see, now survival of the fittest. We don't have to tell you. Now, written code. Nigeria will drown you. Until you will say, help me. Some of you, now visa, you go take run away. Some of you, help me, you will scream. Now Biafra, you will scream. And you will never believe you will do that. I am somebody like a conscience. I am going to say it so that every now and then, when you remember some of these scenarios, you know what will happen? You will remember Maiyegun. Maiyegun said, Nigeria, politicians and Boko Haram and gang, they spent a lot of money to lift us out of poverty. But rather than lift us out of poverty, more people are drowning in it. And with the description Maiyegun gave, I am actually one of them. 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira. Every month, I spend a lot of money reaching out to people that I just feel like if helping them behind the scene will keep them afloat until they find their bearing and manage to get out of this. I'm guilty that we all agreed on this platform. Don't give anybody money in Nigeria. If you have your family that you care so much about, just take care of them and forget it. But I am so sorry. I don't come from that world. I feel like the more you take care of your family and ignore the abandoned people, the more your family will become unsafe. Because it will come to a point where the poor people will have nothing to eat, but the rich. In this case, before the poor eat the rich, they will first start eating those who are well off, that are closer to them. The poor knows that the rich will take time to get to, but they know many of you are doing well in their communities, driving car. As everybody, they complain, say money no day. Your children are still going to that school paying 250,000 naira. You are next to them. And in my own world, I feel like if somebody doesn't have and somebody else has a lot, if you don't share it, that doesn't keep you safe. It's just a matter of time. So whatever I can give for 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, I give people up to 100,000. And that doesn't mean that I actually just give like that. I'm somebody who work on my own budget enough that I can reach out to those that can say, oh, just take that. And the moment I cut off my budget, that is me for that month. Conscience cleaned, and then I hope for the next one if I will be able to do it. I do that a lot. All right. Now, because this is why I get to know how things can really be tough because of little money. Now, when you are struggling with all of this, they may likely want to blame you, tell you, use religion to hoodwink you, make you think it's because you are a sinner, you are not closer to God enough, or you are not praying enough, or it's because of you've done this or that. No, you've done nothing. It is Nigeria. The reason why you have no idea is because you have less understanding of how economy works and how politics affect you, all of you. We will help those who will help. Everybody is reaching out to everyone they can reach out to. Random people on social media. You know what I mean? You see, of those little help, they are saving Nigeria in a way and saving your family members in a way. If you have followed the story of Venezuela, Venezuela is an oil-producing country. It's supposedly one of the richest in that part of America, right? Corruption over the years, strife, and then, civil war and all of that, continue to give them criminals as their leaders. Consequences of the decision of greed for the limited few is that the majority are going to have to suffer and they will have to kill themselves for survival. So when we have a chance of in a little way preventing that, it doesn't simply mean that, we are funding Nigeria to still be the same or remain one. We are only trying to say or do our part to say even Nigeria will break up, right? We can break up in peace, not in pieces. And the effect of even breaking up, also the effect of what Nigeria has done to us, will take decades to fix in any new nation that comes out of Nigeria. So it's up to us. I'll continue to be that conscience of yours. If this message actually gets to you, You may watch this video again. Take your time. Sometimes I speak faster. Sometimes I just... and sometimes I get so comical about it. The point here is this. Do not miss the message in what I've shared with you. Those who are presenting themselves as the solution and the opinion makers, swerving the opinions of people, trying to feed them with nonsense, are the people that you and I should know that we should never listen to. We should never use them as an example of anything at all. They have no morality, they have no conscience, they have nothing, and they have proved it to you. They are liars. The governor of Kwara State just came out and he said a businessman sent Lai Mohammed to him to give him 100 million naira. The whole Nigerian headline carried it. Guess what? Lai Mohammed, pocketed the money because he considered himself as a godfather that should now be feeding from whatever politics brings, because he's one of those who made the current governor of Kwara State the governor. Something that they learned from the Atifnumbu Jaga bandit, the Jaga Wiri, the Jaga addicts, Ashiwaju Awon Wiri, Ashiwaju Awon Agberu of Lagos. Something they all learned from him, how to become godfathers or become the rent seeker in their different abodes. But the guy seems to be like, F off, mister. I'm not going to be like that. So they've been at loggerhead for so long. Lai Mohammed is saying he's not going to be the governor again. He's going to bring somebody else. Now, the governor is saying somebody sent Lai Mohammed to him to give him 100 million naira during the campaign. As governor, guess what? Who gave the money? They said, "Na Igbo man." A Biafran gave them 100 million naira to support APC in Kwara, so that the current Kwara governor, Abdurrahman also, could become governor. He's now governor. The person will then give the money to Lai Mohammed, pocketed the money, and you won't even see it on him. You can see how he looks all the time anyway. When you hear all these millions, all these guys are highest top crumb eaters, crumb chasers, and they will say anything just to continue to feed themselves, okay? So you don't listen to people like that. These are guys who have lost credibility. They don't talk and you listen. But it's up to you. You will always decide what you want to decide. And that's me. I'm going to leave us here. By the way, if you're watching my video for the first time on YouTube, you can just subscribe, okay? Set on your notification. To my regular viewers, today's message on the Temple of Truth has now come to the close. You can now leave your offerings by clicking the like under the video before you go. I'll see you some other time. Good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.